Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here back with the next part of What If Naruto joined the Anbu. And before continuing this, if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's continue with our story. 1 week after the attack, Sasuke Uchiha was many things: a genius, an avenger, and Uchiha. An avenging genius Uchiha don't get captured by 3 missing ninjas barely tuning level, but he had. It was unacceptable. When he woke up in the hospital, Kakashi lazily read his book and informed him that Anbu had stopped him from being taken away. Sitting at his vulnerability, the last Uchiha demanded more training, more power than the team exercises and conditioning he had been limited to. Kakashi just eye-smiled, patted him on the head, and told him powerful jutsus weren't the answer to that. That the Anbu who took down the leader just used shadow clones, poison, and C-rank jutsu. Sasuke scoffed at that and left the hospital to train on his own. Spending his week off at the Uchiha training grounds, I need to get stronger to beat him. The brooding teen clenched his fist in the pockets in anger, not noticing his afternoon walk after another stagnant training session was taking him to a section of the village he'd never been in before. The part of town his sensei and every other higher-up ninja lived. Bought food and hung out around. No civilians and most shinobis under Chunin level knew about it. Heck, Sasuke only knew about it because he lived with an Anbu for a month after the massacre. His thoughts lost in the past, Sasuke almost missed a certain blonde-haired dead last walking slowly through the streets, a limp in his step and blood splattering on his face. Almost in the keyword, he's gotten stronger. I need that power. I have the Sharingan. I'll fight him and steal that power. A dead last doesn't need it anyway. I bet he got an office job or hospital post. Those losers don't need power like an avenger. Naruto was exhausted. Relieved but exhausted. A simple escort of the daimyo from the capital to Konoha turned almost deadly when a pack of 7 missing ninjas, this time with mixed Eva and Kiri headbands, had attacked. The caravan holding the daimyo, well, the decoy anyway. In reality, Team Ryo was escorting the daimyo's double when Gamma and 2 other squad took the real daimyo of fire on an alternative route, which wove underground at times. They defeated the bastards with only minor injuries, but Naruto stand away. Hikaru kept insisting Naruto be carried when he sprained his ankle in a roundhouse kick. When they returned to Konoha with the bodies, the higher-ups congratulated them on their work. But everyone on Ro got the impression that they weren't happy. None were taken alive. It made proving their likely affiliation with the new discovered Otogakure high impossible. That was almost a day ago and Naruto was off until noon tomorrow. Until then, the exhausted Anbu had plans to secure his apartment, shower and sleep with the newly made sound barrier seals and privacy seals. Month of work would pay off, as Guy's voice was not something one could learn to turn out. That was Naruto's plan before the Uchiha he saved, not that he would ever know, stopped him on the streets. "Fight me, idiot," Sasuke demanded arrogantly. Naruto looked at the brat, for Sasuke Uchiha was very much a brat in Naruto's eyes now, and started to stare at him with tired eyes. "No," he said simply and attempted to step around the older boy. "Scared? You will fight me," Sasuke said and blocked his path again. Naruto sighed, wishing he had agreed to get sushi with Hayate and Yugao now, or even that hot springs with Hikaru. He hardly wondered if this was karma for slipping away from his comrades. Nah, not even karma is this cruel. Just got back from a mission. I'm tired and have no time for you. Leave. His voice was cold, but Naruto didn't care. He had a hopefully still hidden ramen stash waiting for him and warm, showering calling. Sasuke grinned his teeth. He didn't used to be this unhinged, but the last time he saw Naruto had shoved him how far behind he was falling. If a loser could overtake him, "If you won't fight me willingly, I'll make sure you will. Fire style, fire dragon jutsu," he snarled. Naruto's eyes widened slightly at this. Sasuke believed it was because he was impressed or scared, and smirked. Now, however, the real reason Naruto's eyes widened was his disbelief at Sasuke's stupidity. He replaced himself with a trash bin from a nearby alley. "You moron! Fighting between comrades in the village streets is prohibited!" Naruto shouted in anger. The Sasuke he knew would never be so stupid, but when Naruto saw his eyes filled with lust of power, he groaned. The reports of the Uchiha becoming flight risk is true after all. for his search to kill Itachi was not exaggerated. Sasuke prepared another attack when he suddenly slumped down. Anko, dango in hand, glared down at the boy in disgust. Foolish maggot. Naruto, are you alright? She asked. Naruto nods. Yeah. He was no threat, but thanks. What should we do with him now? Naruto asked. Normally, shinobi who pulled such a stunt would spend the night at T&A to cool off, but interrogated and then to the Hokage for punishment. With the Uchiha though, it was likely nothing had happened. Anko snorted and Naruto's question. He'll get the same treatment as everyone else. The Hokage doesn't care if he is the last of his bloodline. Weren't you the one who told me that old geezer promised that the village comes before any individual? Isn't that what he told you during your talks? Naruto winced a bit at his own unsaid accusations. He had patched things up with the Hokage completely when they had their heart-to-heart, and Naruto made him wear orange all day and rubbed his hair sheepishly. Sorry, you're right. I'll leave him to you then. And Naruto took off before Anko can yell and indignant. Hey, you should take him and slip into his apartment through the window. The next morning, Guy woke Naruto up at the normal 4 a.m. time, somehow bypassing all of his seals again. Yosh, my youthful morning student, let us bask in our youthfulness and discover what the springtime of youth has in store for us today. We shall spend the morning together before your youthful shift starts. Guy shouted in Naruto's tiny room. His flailing arm almost knocked over the bookcase. Naruto blinked barely. What? What did he say? He mumbled through the mask. He never did get a shower as Anko showed up, demanding dango after he checked the straps and felt the plants, and thus was still wearing what he had on yesterday, making him seem more like Kakashi than ever before. Oh, you're too hip and cool, mini Kakashi. Never fear, I shall show you the way back to youthfulness. Guy swung to his little comrade, who was still half asleep on his shoulder. We shall take an ice-cold swim in the river before running around Konoha on our hands. By the time Naruto fully awoke, he was cursing Guy with his very soul as the water bit into his skin. Note to self, research better security seals. With that thought in mind, Naruto begrudgingly swam the laps with the green monster of Konoha, never noticing Dragon observing from a nearby tree. I know what you think, Mouse, but just like with your ramen, your house will never be safe from Guy. Trading with him is too amusing, though perhaps I should have let you sleep in, seeing as your squad did just completed an A-rank escort mission. Nah, I will never do that. Dragon continued muttering to himself as Naruto crawled out onto the bank and was giving the leg and chest weight he wore while training with Guy. Crumbling curses, the almost 13-year-old slid them on and started on his run 6-hour long marathon with Guy, who alternated between hands and feet. Anbu locker room, noon. Multiple Anbu squads were preparing for various missions and shifts when Naruto walked in with a twitching eyebrow and muttering, just you wait, Guy and Mini Guy. I will create a barrier you can't break though. And when I'm done, my mornings off will cease to be interrupted by rambling of, hey Naruto, shuddered, youth. Danzo and Yugao and Hikaru winced in sympathy for their young friend. The poor boy was Guy's new pet project that extended beyond training and in attempts to bring back Naruto's youth. It was really not a fate they wished on anyone. Unfortunately for Naruto, the other squads found it hilarious. I am so glad you were suckered into the apartment and not me, Jaguar teased. He had moved in right after Naruto had, avoiding the curse that was Guy. Most of the other Anbus sniggered, as the youngest amongst them muttered the deluded old man about killing whoever taught Guy about seals. Of course, Ro all knew it was Dragon who just disabled them randomly for kicks. They would never tell Naruto, however, for the fear of Dragon carrying out his threat of assigning them Konohamaru's duty for a month. Shut it. Captain Dragon permission to sanction an assassination mission of whoever sells Guy his jumpsuits and taught him seals. Naruto asked hopefully. Danzo sighed, familiar with this situation. Permission denied, Mouse. Besides, I think you'll like your mission when we're preparing for tomorrow, or at least you'll be doing the rest of us a favor. Danzo said. Naruto cocked his head. What kind of mission? Oh, just running the trap course for the academy today. Danzo grinned evilly at the pale expressions of Naruto's face, and Hawk, who usually ran the course, was called on a mission. Tenzo had swept it for his squad. Not only would Ro get to observe an unbearably easy watch for the shade of the trees, but Naruto would be able to see his teacher again, in off-duty gear too. Is this payback for making the Hokage wear orange? Naruto asked. Why? Whatever made you think that? Tenzo asked. By his too innocent expression. However, Naruto knew his captain was a vengeful bastard when he wanted to be one. Academy next day. Alright class, remember to treat whoever is the instructor with respect. They'll teach you the basic traps and how to disable them. Iruka was stern with the 9-year-olds, especially Konohamaru and his friends. His pride as a teacher was on the line, and if his student misbehaved, it would reflect poorly on him. They reached the clearing the new instructor wanted them at quickly, and Iruka's jaw dropped. Standing in the middle of the sea traps was his unreachable student, Naruto. The boy who wore standard black pants and long black shirt, and the face mask he sported resembled a Captain Cyclops. What really got Iruka thought was when Naruto turned to face them and plopped down, holding up 10 flags. I don't believe the babying students and find learning by doing is better than anything. My traps teacher threw me in the deep end, so I will do the same. I am your target. I have 10 flags on me, one of every 3 students. Your job is to team up into 3-man cell and make your way through the field to me, setting off as little as possible as traps as you can possibly see. You will be guarded on how quickly and efficiently you got there. The winning squad will be treated to dinner by me at Ichiraku's. That got the kids' attention. Ichiraku was a nice restaurant for all of them, at least, mainly for Konohamaru Corps. Iruka's jaws dropped though at the cool tone of Naruto and the difficulty of the trap set. Go, Naruto said after a moment, and 30 students split preparing for their trail. Iruka used a Sunshin and Kawarami to make into Naruto's circle, and sat next to his old student, Iruka-sensei. Naruto greeted happily. I didn't know you were teaching this class. Naruto sounded happy, and he was also nervous. Iruka was known for being able to make Naruto talk about everything, not something Naruto wanted at the time, when his anbu status wasn't spared around. Hello Naruto, I haven't seen you in almost 5 months. Where have you been? Iruka asked crossly. The Chunin was both ecstatic and pissed at his former student. Special assignment and all that, pretty boring most of the time. I was asked to take over for the anbu today, so that why this course isn't as detailed as I asked. Naruto apologized sheepishly. Iruka gabbed at him, flabbergasted that this monster of test wasn't the final product, and forgetting about Naruto's situation in the moment just like Naruto hoped for. What do you mean as detailed as you like? The high Ganin level not meant for academy students. You can't expect 9-year-old to succeed. Iruka ranted on to Naruto, who began tuning him out. Finally, the tuning ran out of breath. You done? Good. Listen, teamwork is most important than flashy jutsus or fancy jutsus move. If I made it easy, then they wouldn't realize it. The way my course is set up, they will have to work together to get a flag. We're also figuring out how the most common and deadly traps work. Even if these versions only shoot out paint. Naruto gave a cold stare, daring Iruka to argue. He's seen the Genin squads at their high morality rate on missions when their teamwork and basic knowledge was lacking, versus the Anbu squad whose teamwork was saved both ninjas and missions constantly. It being harsh now prevented even one Genin death. Naruto viewed this as a mission complete. Iruka looked at Naruto in pride. The boy he knew would have boasted about doing everything alone and screamed a battle cry. No. Lecture on the importance of working together and pushing on self. It made him wonder what assignment Naruto had. A few squads had overheard Naruto and strove to work better together. With new determination, the students strove to win, not just for food but also to make their temporary sensei proud. Up in the trees, Hikaru and Yugao played Go Fish. You think Chibi Kohai is really an old war vet in disguise? I mean, he sounds 30, not 12. Hikaru grumbled as he lost to Yugao, who had their captains giving hand signs behind Hikaru, feeling like his favorite squad mate was being dull. No, idiot. Mouse is just growing up. Something you could learn from, Yugao admonished. She was proud of Naruto for his maturity as of late. She was no longer worried of having 2 Hikarus on row. What's so bad about being jealous sometimes? We accepted this mission so Mouse can hang out with his old teacher, not lecture. Tenzo sighed as the recent bickering topic started up. Stop it, both of you, Tenzo ordered. His brain couldn't handle another argument over Naruto's personality. Wolf, Mouse is on a mission. An easy one. Sure, but still a mission. And such as in the mission mode we taught him. At this you go look smug. And Cat, lighten up a bit. You are playing a card game on a mission right now. So any GBs on Wolf maturity are moot at this point. Naruto was talking to his teacher downside as Tenzo saw. Now it's Karu's turn to throw his shoulder back in victory. Tenzo palms his mask in exasperation at the two clearly didn't get it. Hey, what's up? Naruto voice breaks Tenzo from his stupor. Naruto smart. The kids are done. I'm just a clone. Boss is taking the winners to Ichiraku's. Tenzo nodded. That's fine, Mouse. After you're done, get some rest. We have a sphere patrol night. Everyone grimaced. Ever since their first time, Dragon took it upon himself to let Ro handle most of the sphere patrols as it became easier with Naruto clones. Darn that Dragon's sadistic bastard. See you in a few hours. He poofed away. That night, this sucks, Hikaru said as they made their way through the tunnels, not bothering to follow the silent unless necessary rule. Silently, Naruto agreed. He had 20 clones do a preliminary sweep, but they still had to double check everything. Shut it. At least we only have the west sector. We should be done with 6 hours. Igao was in a full mood of foul. Her date with Hayate would have to be postponed as the sewer smell took few hours to get out. It's not as bad. There isn't any. Not trailed off. Then cursed crap. There's 6 hostiles setting up explosives. This take off soundlessly. Naruto in the lead. No more compliments or bickering filled their thoughts. With danger up ahead, they became the elite anbu of Konoha. They reached each section of the tunnels. The clone dispersed. Suppressing their chakra, Ro looked from the shadows. 6 wings crashed Kumo headbands. Tenzo said. Recognize the one in the back. Kumo B rank. Takashi the tank. Went rogue 3 months ago. Naruto sighed back. He was well versed in the bingo book now, as he was determined to win the vacation passes for his squad at the next bingo book. Understood, Mouse. Throw 5 of your new smoke tags on my signal. Cat, Wolf, kill the 4 in front of Mouse. Captured the 5th working on the bombing tags. When finished, assist me with Takashi. Tenzo ordered. With notes, Naruto threw down the tags. What made them smoke tags so special was Naruto's little twist. Instead of storing actual smoke in the seals, he stored chakra smoke from his clones, making his similar to hidden miss jutsu. After facing Rai, Naruto had asked Kakashi for the jutsu. After trying it, it became clear that even with it being technically a D-rank jutsu for Naruto to use, it had developed a water affinity to perform it with a degree of effectiveness, which Kakashi wouldn't teach him before his wind manipulation was complete. Still weeks away, even with his clones, to make up for the lack, Naruto altered the standard smoke tag a bit. After accidentally sealing an annoying clone into the matrix, Naruto set it off in frustration, only to grin maniacally when his apartment was filled with a thin smoke. Now, each tag held 20 clones worth of chakra smoke, which lingered lower and blocked sensors and smell, not just sight. Once the tag released a mountain of smoke, Hikaru and Yugao took off, making the 4 in front of them fell, all of whom were Genin level. Naruto went over near his target, who was frantically attempting to finish his seal but kept making mistakes. Dropping down behind him, Naruto took a deep breath and tried to his new jutsu from Kakashi, Earth style. Headhunter jutsu, he whispered, screaming of the enemies covering the noise, and sank into the ground. It wasn't perfect, but Naruto couldn't use destructive jutsu in close quarters or risk the man. A short blading tuning with a sloppy slash headband. Under the ground, Naruto head shot out and grabbed the ankles. Pulling down with all his might, the man let out a startled yelp as he finished, find himself snack deep in earth. Naruto reappeared behind him and knocked him out with the hilt of his new Chikoto. Opening the prisoner's status scroll, Naruto quickly sealed the unconscious man, in silently grumbling that his last scroll was used. Prisoner status scrolls were expensive, and it took a level 4 to make. Die, Kono has come. A voice Naruto could only assume was Takashi's rank out. Naruto turned to see Captain and teammates having little trouble with the hulk of a man. Takashi was powerful with his earth style, but Yugao had cut off one of his hands, making most jutsus impossible. Earth style, mud wave, or not, just jumping up to the ceiling. Team Row avoided the floor, becoming a disgusting river of sewage and dirt. Yugao and Tenzo gave a familiar hand sign and Naruto grins behind his mask. He loved this combo, even if it was insanely difficult. Naruto made 3 clones and Sunshin in a triangle formation around Takashi. The man drew a kunai and sliced towards one. At the same moment, Yugao switched with the clone and blocked the strike. While he distracted with holding off her sword, Tenzo switched with the one on the left and stabbed the man with wooden spike with the arm. Naruto then finished it behind them, his Chikoto laced in chakra of wind to decapitate the man. The mud hardened on longer, fed by chakra, and Squadro landed around the body. Good work, Tenzo praised, slightly winced and winded. He had engaged in a taijutsu match with a target at first. Neither wanted to damage the area, two of different reasons. HQ has already sent back up to disable any other threats. Mouse, are you able to dismantle this area? Naruto studied the matrix on the wall carefully. It was obviously made to be let off domino style, and so he have to dismantle them one at a time. It would take time and hours. I can, Captain. It'll take hours, but I can do it. Tenzo nodded. Good. Then we don't have to wait for anyone to come. Take care of this sector. We'll guard you. With a sigh, Naruto started on the first deck, slowly unraveled the seal. It ended up taking Naruto half day before Naruto finished the last glued one tag, only because 3 other sectors and sections had a domino-style chain as well. Finally done, Naruto rolled his shoulders and turned to his captain. Finished. Please tell me we are off duty now. He begged. Tenzo shook his head. Sorry, but all the joints and anbus are to report to the war room for debriefing. The one you got cracked. Naruto perked up a bit at that. Finally, that they had information. 10 minutes later, Row found their place on the ceilings, the room too full for the late arrivals. Now, no one talked again much. Even Guy, kneeling next to Kakashi in front row, barely whispered. We can now begin. The Hokage breathed at the already grim room, with deadly silent. Last night, Onboard discovered another group of missing ninjas, this time all of them from Kumo, setting up a chain of bombs in the underground sewers on a routine sweep. They killed 5 of the preparators, one of whom was a B rank in our bingo books, and captured one. It began the Inuichi and covered the motives and origins. Most stiffened at what they said next. They were working for Otogakure, the building village and budding village in Rice we've been searching for. It appears they were promised entrance to the village if they managed to collapse the western sector, and they captured an unsealed Byakugan or Sharingan user. Outrage of the John filled the room. We should destroy them. How dare this startup try to take Konoha? Silence! Startup order. You cannot prove anything yet, and we don't know who this new village is and has sided with. Furthermore, they have sent an official request to participate in the tuning exams taking place in 3 months. I accepted. Hokage-sama, is that voice? Ebisu spoke. Naruto observed the stuck-up Jonin, familiar with him from a trivia night. The man was walking textbook, but never thought outside the box. Case in point. He didn't see the reasoning of the Hokage's position. Yes, Ebisu, it is. The way we have them in position that we for there is clearly no if. Then they try something, we will be under full rights to crush them under the great tree of Konoha. Furthermore, I have already decided that teams 7 and 8 will be acquired and required to be in the exams. Kakashi and the leader, but Kakashi nodded at his leader, but Kurenai was indignant. Hokage-sama, you plan to use Hinata as bait. She is not ready, Kurenai argued. In truth, before today, she would have loved to have Hinata in the exams to toughen her up, but now, not so much sure. She's a Konoichi, as you are. My words are final. Besides, both she and Sasuke will be will have an anbu to guard them the entirety of the exams, regardless if they make the finals. Whispered went around as having anbus guarding a particular person boarded on messing with the exams. Kakashi spoke up. Who will be watching over Genin, Hokage-sama? Squad Falcon and Beta will be watching over Hinata. Team Ro and Gamma will be the guys of normal exam patrols will be watching Sasuke Uchiha. Sad Squad, Gamma and Ro all cursed in their minds. None of them liked the Uchiha after hearing his attempted assault, and being told to guard him for a month was not their idea of fun. Kakashi seemed to sense this displeasure and sent an ice melt up towards the ceiling. If I may, would it be possible to commission an anbu to help train each of the squad? It would prepare them for the finals ahead. Naruto's stomach started dropping, hoping that his senpai wasn't doing what he thought he was doing. Very well then. Anyone in particular you'd like to request from the guard details? Oh, I think Mouse would be wonderful. Kakashi smiled as Hikaru held Naruto's shoulder to prevent him from attacking the Cyclops, as Wolf as well. Now it was Hikaru holding back. Hikaru and Naruto tossed a wind-charged kunai right at Kakashi's head, who caught it easily. Everyone not in the know yet about Sasuke's sweat dropped at the violent reaction. Mouse, if you and Wolf work with my team every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll show you the first step to water manipulation. Naruto stopped reaching for another kunai. And he questioned Sarutobi could have ordered him to do it for free, but found the situation amusing and it made Kakashi spend more time away from a memorial stone. Hikaru meanwhile looked betrayed at his kohai, who was selling them out. I'll buy you ramen buffet. Kakashi managed, mentally crying for his wallet. Naruto hummed. Good, but not good enough after he attacked me, and now Dubbed will try to use his Sharingan on me every chance he gets. You know what I want? No, anything but that. Nope, besides cats are better. I should disown you for that. You never adopted me, accept and let me pick it out, or I'll send the 3 months show them my sexy jutsu. Fine, we'll go pick up your cat after this. Kakashi growled out. His little mini-me project was failing. Mouse chuckled at how the 12-year-old just got Kakashi resident cat hater, just spent a fortune on cat. Excellent, pleasure doing business with ya. Naruto cheered. Hikaru was still gapping. Moving on, we will discuss the increased patrol and preparations. I fear we may have to fend off a coordinated attack soon. Shikaku, any analysis of yours? 7 hours later, the Hokage dismissed them, and Naruto, despite his lack of sleep, was waiting for Kakashi. The high-challenged Anbu locked onto Kakashi, pinning the man with clones. Oh, senpai, you weren't going to leave without me, right? I would never. Let's go find you a pet dog. Cat. Dog. Cat. I mean, you said dog, right? No, cat. Please anything but cats, Naruto. Nope, I like cats. Tor and I are best friends. Everyone and Sarutobi and Danzo paled a bit at the thought of the Jinchuriki and Tor getting along. At least look at the other animals, Kakashi begged, pulling out his orange book. Naruto had crawled up to his shoulders and pulled out a book on training cats. Fine, Kakashi said, a mentally victory sign, but I'll still choose a cat. Dog, cat, dog, cat. The two made their way out of the room, neither caring for the sense they caused. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.